Now we're going to learn about a handy little bit of action script called a function. Flash has piles of built-in functions, and the onEnter frame that we looked at a little while ago is just one of them. We have the ability, however, to create our own custom functions. These are like little mini programs or subroutines. We define them first, and then later on we can call them and the function will execute. There are many different types of custom functions, and many of them involve some pretty advanced scripting. So in this lesson, we're just going to cover the creation and application of a basic custom function containing some of the actions we've already covered. The main use of this is whenever we have a bunch of code that we want to use all over our Flash movie in different locations or at different times, we can set up the code for the operation at the very beginning and encapsulate it inside a function. Then all we have to do whenever we want to execute that code is call the name of the function. Okay, now for the actual writing of a function. Open the Actions panel, and we're going to do this with Script Assist turned off. Select Frame 1 in your Actions layer. Now the basic formatting of this type of function is the word function, a space, the name of the function, which I'm going to call my function, a set of enclosed parentheses, a space, and then curly brackets. I'm going to add a couple of lines and put the ending curly bracket down here. As with most other actions, the curly brackets contain the core of the function. In this case, it's all of the actions that we want the function to do when we call it. You can use this for anything, but we're just going to make the function send a message to ourselves using the output panel. For this, we use the trace function. Just type trace, and then in parentheses, whatever it is you want to display. We do need to enclose the text in quotes though, so make sure you do that. End it with a semicolon. And that part of the work is done. We've now declared a function. We've only just declared it though. This function is never going to execute until we specifically tell it to. And that we can do from anywhere, from a keyframe, or from an on-release action in a button, even from a remote movie clip. It's just sitting there waiting for its chance to do its thing. I'm going to make this function execute when we click a button. So let's make one. Add a layer and draw a simple rectangle. It doesn't need to be pretty. So we'll just use the rectangle, convert it to a symbol, and make it a button. Now select the button on the stage, and again, I'm lazy with buttons and I like to use Script Assist to add the on-release action. To start, we can just drop in a go to and play, and then turn Script Assist back off and type whatever code we want in here, because this is the code that's going to run when we click the button. So the code that will trigger the function is the name of the function, a set of enclosed parentheses, and a semicolon. And that's it. Now, every time we click this button, the function should execute. Let's test the movie. Control and test movie. Click the button. And there we go. The message is sent to us via the output panel. Of course, this is a very simple example, but keep in mind that we could have put all of the things we've covered so far inside this function. In the function code, how about an if-else statement and an onEnter frame function, creating the fading effect? Really, you can drop in almost anything you want. And that's enough for functions for now. Let's move on to the next lesson.